Hey everyone, welcome back to another plan with me, or welcome if you are new around these parts. Today's plan with me is of course for March, and we're actually veering off the path a little bit of what I would normally do. So March has kind of been the pop culture, I guess is what you could kind of call it, theme that I do. So I've done like Adventure Time, I've done Super Mario, and things like that that are big in pop culture, like TV shows or series or video games or things like that. But this year I decided to veer off that path a little bit because I just wanted to do frogs. I guess you could say it's kind of a frog and a lily pad theme. I do a frog on every page, and then we do lily pads with these flowers. Are these called like lotus flowers? I should really look these things up before I do voiceovers, but it's a very simple theme, as in it's not super detailed as what I normally would do, but I really loved it. So I had the idea to do frogs when I was antiquing recently. I love going antiquing around to different shops, and I've been doing it a lot lately because I've been decorating my daughter's nursery. She's due very soon, and is why all of my uploads have been late and kind of all over the place. I know I haven't said it on here yet, but I'm having a daughter very, very soon. So yeah, I'm very excited, but I was antiquing and I saw a vintage, I don't know if it was like a first edition because it was pretty expensive, book of Frog and Toad, Mr. Frog and Toad. Is it Mr. Frog and Toad? I think it's just Frog and Toad. And I really wanted it, but like I said, it was kind of expensive, so it made me believe that it was a first edition. I should have looked it up more. And her nursery is kind of storybook theme, but really just a bunch of different cute animals. So there's a lot of ducks, there's a lot of bunnies, deer, and maybe some frogs, some butterflies, things like that. And so I think it's just really cute. And so I wanted to get that book, but it was too expensive. And then I was like, my bullet journal could be frogs. So that was the long-winded reason of why we chose to do frogs. Plus they're green, and I think everyone associates March with green because of St. Patrick's Day. Even though I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I'm not sure a lot of people that I know celebrate either, but to each their own. I still like the green. I like all the themes that come out of March, and so yeah, that's when we chose to do frogs. So I chose to do markers simply because I wanted to. I think it might have looked a little bit better, a little less streaky if I had done paint, or maybe if I had invested in some alcohol markers. I'm very interested in alcohol markers. I have not personally used them before, but I really like how they come out, and they're not so streaky. You can't see the line marks, and you can do a lot of blending, a lot of different colors on top, and so I'm very interested in them. I see a lot of people use them on social media or in coloring books. Like, I love watching videos of people color in, oh my gosh, it's a certain brand of coloring book. You know what I'm talking about, especially if you're on the same side of social media as me. But I love watching them color with them, so I'm very interested in them, and I might get them. But like I said, it might have looked a little better if I had used paint, but I just really was wanting creatively to use markers, so I thought, why not? It's my bullet journal. I can do what I wish. But the colors that I chose are 3 different shades of green, and then for the flowers, we have this corally color, and you can kind of see where I went in with a yellow marker to add the center. It's not super noticeable, but that's okay. And then I chose this really dark blue for the water. Now I know water's not really dark blue, but I liked the darker color scheme with all of the greens. I also really liked the font choice that I chose. I chose these really bubbly letters. They're just a bubble letter. There's nowhere else to describe it, but I really liked that choice that I made. But here I am just coloring in the rest of the cover page. I also decided that it would look better if it took up 2 pages this time as opposed to 1. Sometimes I'm just feeling that, and I really think this was the smart move on this. But we're still just coloring it in. you can see I start sectioning off sections and coloring in that specific one, because you know when you pull out that move that it's like, it just makes it feel like it's going by faster, so that's what we did there. I'm surprised this blue didn't run out of ink, but she's still going strong to this day. But if you do have recommendations for alcohol markers, like a certain brand or certain ones that you like, please let me know, because I really am thinking about getting some. And you know, they have a ton at like TJ Maxx and things, but I never know if like, is this a good brand, or maybe I should just try it for myself and find out. But if you have any recommendations, let me know. Now we are flipping on over to my best page and my calendar page. The calendar page has moved again to a half page. I don't think I'll ever decide which I prefer, like a half page calendar or full page calendar. I don't think I'm ever going to decide. I think I'm going to perpetually switch back and forth between the two, which is okay. And surprisingly, I've been using my calendar on my laptop a lot, and that's crazy to me because I'm definitely a pen and paper type person. I love writing everything out, but ever since I got my new laptop for Christmas, I've been using my calendar on my laptop, which is crazy, but mainly for work things. Anything personal life, everyday to-dos, I keep log pen and paper because that is traditionally what I prefer. So below the calendar to the right, I created another miniature scene of essentially what the cover page was, which I thought was super cute, but no frogs over here. It's just lily pads in the water, and it's super cute. And then to the left, we just have a frog climbing up the page, keeping it pretty simple, going in with all of those different shades of green. This shade of green in particular, I don't know where it's been. I've had my Crayola Supertips markers for years and years at this point, and I swear I've never used this green before. It's one of those that's like deceiving by the cap color, I feel like, because I looked at it and was like, this isn't green, but it is, and I'm definitely going to be using it a lot more. After we finish up this frog here, I'm going in with a slightly deeper shade of green to do some detailing, like minimal detailing, nothing crazy at all, just to kind of show some of the features of the frog. We are going to flip over into the weekly spread, or really it's just a running to do at this point, and that's going to be the last spread that we talk about. So like I said, I've been loving a running to do, and honestly, I don't think I can see myself going back. I don't think I'm going to flip-flop like I do with my calendar spreads. This is just something that really works for me, and so I'm, like I say every month, if it works for me, I'm going to keep it. But we're keeping it pretty simple on the bottom, adding more lily pads, more flowers, another lovely frog there in the corner, and that is essentially it. We're keeping the rest of it blank. We're keeping the rest of it white space, just so that I have plenty of room to write my to-dos for the day. And sometimes I'll split it up where one side is for work to-dos and one side is for life to-dos, or sometimes I just combine them all. So whatever day it is, I'll write out that date, write the to-dos below it, and that way also you have so much room, because there are some days where I don't have as many things that I need to accomplish, and there are other days where it's like I feel like my list is never ending, especially with a baby due next month. So this has just been really working for me, but we are finishing up this frog, and that is it for March. We are on to the final flip through. As always, thank you so much for being here. If you've made it this far, if you like the theme, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, or adding a frog emoji in the comments. Thanks guys, see you next time.